to first set up Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8, first of all, you will have to power on this smartphone by using this power button. If it is not working for some reason, for example, it is not turning on, make sure that you are gonna connect the USB-C charger and let it charge for around 20 to 30 minutes. Sometimes battery can be completely drained, 0%, so we have to wait a little bit. Now we can finally start by clicking on this button, and first of all, we have to select language. Click next, and now as you can see, you can just simply connect to the mobile network. So it's time to input SIM card. So this SIM slot is available at the top of this device. This is the slot that we want to open, and how you can do this? Well, basically you will have to grab this SIM ejection tool that you can find in the box, but also you can use from a different smartphone if you already have it in your phone, or even you can use paper clip. Now we have to input it over here gently. Now align like this and gently push it. Now when the SIM is out of the frame, we can use, for example, our fingernails to take it off. And as you can see right now, we can input here one SIM card in the nano size. So for me, I'm gonna use this one, and we can even find this drawing here, which means that we have to put it with this cutout that is available over here. Now, when you put it properly, this SIM card won't go above this SIM slot frame. If it goes above, it means that you will have to squeeze it for a few times until it will be here inside. Now, to put it back, it's also quite simple. On the right side, we can find this small circle, so we have to align it like this. Now try to put it gently. If something is not working, try to take it off, reposition your SIM card, and just do this one more time. But as you can see, for me, everything is fine. And after this, I can input this SIM card PIN code. Now we can mark this to connect to the mobile network, and we have to click continue. Now we have to accept the end user license agreement, and don't select this sending of diagnostic date, or maybe if you really want. Now as you can see, we can easily set up with another device, which means that we can simply transfer data from iPhone or iPad or other Samsung 4 or Android devices. But if you want to quickly start with this smartphone, you can click to set up manually, and then you can do this later. Or for example, if you have backup on your Google account, it will be also possible to restore this backup. So in this step, I'm gonna click to set up manually, but if you are wondering how you can actually do this transfer, well, I'm gonna record another video where I'm showing you step by step. So now as you can see, we are able to quickly connect to the Wi-Fi network. And you can also turn off the Wi-Fi if you don't really want to use it right now. But for me, of course, I want to do this. So I want to scan the QR code by clicking on this icon. Now I'm gonna point it into my smartphone. And as you can see, I will be quickly connected into my office Wi-Fi network. You can also click on the Wi-Fi network and then input password manually. Now we have to click next, and now it's gonna get some updates, so just be patient. So now I'm setting this device for myself. Now we can actually sign in into all Google accounts that are linked into your phone number. I'm talking about the SIM card that you have input here, but honestly, none of the account is actually linked into this number that I'm using here. So I'm gonna click skip, but if you want, click forward. So now just input the details of your Google account. But if you don't have one, you can use that option to create account, select for personal use, child, work, or my business, and follow on-screen instructions. Now I'm clicking next. Now it's time to input password. Okay, now click agree for Google Play terms of service. And right now you are able to quickly log into your Samsung account. You can even use your Google account and use it as a Samsung one, or you can input these details of your Samsung account manually. You can also sign in with a QR code, which means that you have another Samsung account. You can open its QR code, scan, and be connected. Or you can also set up this later in the settings. Or if you don't have Samsung account, you can create it. I can recommend you to actually use Samsung account because it will add a lot of functionality into this smartphone. So for me, I just want to sign in with a Google one. So I'm clicking here, and now I'm gonna get this automatic selection, and we are gonna go forward. We have to accept terms and the conditions for a Samsung account. I can highly recommend you to turn on the offline finding, because if you lost this smartphone, you can still log into another Samsung device or even the Samsung website and actually get the last location that was sent from this device. You can also get the news and the special offers, but if you want to avoid some spam notifications and messages, just don't accept this one. And now click agree. Now we get this copy apps and the data. So this is something that we were talking previously, but we are gonna select don't copy right now, and we can set a screen protection. So we can find the face recognition that's gonna use both selfie cameras. Also, there is the fingerprint scanner on the right side linked with the power button. And also we get the classic one, PIN, password and pattern. You can also skip if you don't like this one, but for me, of course, I will go forward and set the standard screen lock. We have to input the same password twice to confirm. Now we have to enable the Google services. So for sure, I'm going to enable everything. But of course, as always, I'm not recommending to enable option send usage and diagnostic data. Click accept, and now we can already enable the Google backup, which is really useful, and I can highly recommend you to stay with all of those things selected. So click to turn on backup. Now we have to select our browser and the search engine. So for me, that's always Google and Google Chrome and the Google search engine. Let me know how it looks in your case. I'm gonna set them as default. And now we got the Gemini AI assistant from Google. There's also the Bixby, so we can later enable Bixby in the settings, but right now let's set up Hey Google. If you are not gonna use this feature, select no thanks and just skip this part of the video. Now we can find all of those Galaxy AI features. You can find here short information, what it is, how it looks. Click next, and as I told you, we got a Bixby that you can of course use. Click next. And right now we have to grant all of those necessary permissions for Bixby. Later, don't worry, we can turn it off. Now we can find some features enabled, like for example, the auto blocker. It's really useful, but if you are often installing some apps from a third-party websites, turn it off. But for me, I'm gonna stay with everything enabled. So I have to click agree. Now select between the light and the dark mode. For me, the light one for videos. Click next, and now please wait. Okay, and now Samsung actually recommend us to download new updates for all of those services and features. So of course, why not? Let's go forward. Now we have to find, now we got the base information, how to take care of this foldable phone, especially it's all about this screen. So as you know, there is a foil, there's attached as default onto this screen, but of course it's not recommended to take it off. You can see this foil, especially here. It's the information here, don't remove the protective film on the main screen. And also it's not recommended to apply some other films or stickers. And also that we can find some magnets, so we have to keep it away from credit cards and devices that might be affected by magnets, at least 50 centimeters away. So click next, and now as you can see, we are all set up. So we can go forward, we can click on the home, and as you can see right now, we can start with the customization process on this home screen. Now as you can see, we are redirected automatically for a SIM manager. And if you want to use dual SIM, you have to add an eSIM profile. And then you can set some preferred options for calls, messages, mobile data, and some other things. So if you don't know how to do this, I'm gonna record a video for every feature that is available here. But right now, let's go back for the home screen. And as you can see, we can start with the customization. If you are wondering why some apps are actually grayed out, well, because it's actually keep downloading. So it means that after like few minutes, you will get this application on your phone and you can start using this. Here in the application drawer, you can find all applications that you have on your phone. And if you are gonna remove something from the whole home screen, it will be still available. But remember to select the remove option, because if you click uninstall, it will just completely remove it from your phone. As you can see, I just removed the Facebook icon, but it's still here. So if I want to like completely get rid of something, I have to click and hold it and select uninstall. But also remember that some applications we cannot remove. Like for example, the Google Play Store, it is not possible to uninstall this one. We can actually disable, but there's like no sense because we're gonna lose a lot of functionality. So now if you want to change something on this phone, I can highly recommend you to open the system settings, where you can actually find a lot of things. And if you don't know how you can do some things on this phone, take a look on my channel where you're gonna find every video. Like for example, if you don't know how to improve the touch sensitivity of this main screen when you got the tempered glass on it, just watch my videos. And this is the base setup of this device. If you have some questions, let me know in the comments. I hope you find it useful. Please hit the like button.